Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are excited because our next big haul is coming up very soon. What, a couple more weeks?
It's a couple weeks.
It's coming up very soon, so we have started our traditional packing and organizing and planning for this big haul. But for this video, this is more about what Abby wanted to talk to you guys about, so I'm gonna let her run with this and explain what it is that she's wanting to share with you guys.
So I know if you're new to camping or if you're a pro at camping, everyone has their own way of doing things. We like to make lists, and I am an endless list maker because otherwise I will forget half of our things.
Lists are very important too.
Very important.
It's just hard to remember everything that you think you're going to remember.
You think you are. I sort of try to have the same general plan of action every time I go about it, but I figured if I made a list and I could show you guys.
Look at that. Abby's trying to make some official list for us because usually she just writes this down on a notepad.
I do.
And then she checks it off as we're packing and getting ready for our trip.
And the most important list for us is the last minute. Because like I said, we're lucky. Our camper is at our house. So we get to come and go as we please. If you're someone that has to store your information, jeez.
Store your
RV, wow. Then lists I think are 100% necessary because how could you possibly remember everything when you're doing it in one day? So loading in one day. So basically,
so let's show them what you got here. This is kind of her and I, talk about the things that we always check before we go on a camping trip. And just like she was mentioning, last minute, because these get loaded up the morning of.
And I mean, you're gonna have your plates and your bowls and your silverware in here, but we like to keep paper bowls and paper plates. So I'm gonna have to replace those because we don't have any more of the big plates. And so those are the things that you come in and check, and then once you do, you check it off. And then you know that they're in there. And obviously that kind of thing is easy to replace on the trip, especially if you're taking a long trip. But you don't, if you have, 1,000 paper towels, you don't want to forget that and have to buy them again. So these are just the basic things that we know that we have to travel with and that I need to check before we head out. And it applies to every area of our camper because we want to make sure that we have all these things. So at the last minute, we're not running around like chickens with their head cut off. That's just me. It's me doing that.
So I just wanted to mention, so
Yes.
Abby, what she's going to be doing with this, she's going to laminate this.
I am.
She's going to make a couple copies, laminate them so that she can just use a marker.
A dry erase marker, yep, and I can check them off. And then the next time we have a trip, I can use this same list. And your lists are going to change. Like I already forgot a couple things like raincoats, sunglasses, and our little travel speaker. I want to make sure that those things are in here.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of people have a pan in here and a pan inside. We have our pans that we love and we travel with them. And so we keep them in the house until the day we leave and then we load them. And so that's on our last minute, make sure that you get these things. Plus your medicine, any kind of things like that, his CPAP, if you wear glasses, just things that cannot be replaced once you hit the road.
Yeah. Show them the barbecue kit. So this is more me personal. And I know that I have a lot of things for barbecue. And for the most part, a lot of this kind of stuff stays in the camper. I have my barbecue kit on the back of the camper. But there are things that I have to load up when we're getting ready, such as, I take the pit barrel. I need to make sure the hanging rods are with the pit barrel, my lid lifter, just certain things that I want to make sure that these things are loaded before we go on our trip. And so this is sort of like my list. Abby kind of works off the rest of the list there.
And I mean, us ladies are going to have some things that obviously cannot go into the last minute, like our jewelry and our makeup and that kind of thing. So make sure you make yourself a little personal list so you don't forget anything. But this makes me happy because this makes me know that when we're ready to go, I'm going to be ready. And the sooner that I can be ready, the happier everybody is.
Yep. So what I would suggest, if you guys are watching and y'all haven't started making lists, and you go RVing with your camper, go ahead and start writing some lists on your next trip. Write them at home, Go ahead and everything that you know that you want to take or that you need to take, go ahead and just write it down on a list, and that will get you started. Because once you guys start figuring out what it is that you want, that you need to take, then y'all can start making your official list based off the things that you already started
Exactly.
writing down, right?
Everybody's list is going to be different. What's important to you is going to be on your list. The first thing that we do when we prepare for a trip is we like to come into the camper and take out anything that doesn't need to be here.
We continue to thin out
We do every
trip.
single time, and for the most part, if you've camped, all of your stuff is going to be already in here. For the most part, like I said, my plates never come out, my bowls never come out, but for the things that have to be replenished, you got to check.
Like our paper towels, you know, we bring extra bottles of water.
And toiletries, you know, if you're on the road and you need extra toothpaste, you need extra toothbrushes, you know, make sure those things are in here. And again, you're not killing yourself if you have a list, because then you can check and you know that you've checked. So
Yep.
I'm really excited about this list.
Yeah, this is the first day that we're going to start loading out. You can
Yes.
see it's kind of a mess in
It's
here,
a mess.
but just because, you know, we're getting ready. Abby's, you know, she's going to be doing all the laundry for the bed there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to show them your new tablecloth here?
I actually have 2 new tablecloths. I haven't decided which one I'm putting in yet. This is an oilcloth, which I love this. I think it's so pretty and bright. So this is probably going to end up, we ended up having a spill on our tablecloth last time.
Yeah,
and
I spilled butter all over it.
It's not something that I really have thought about. Like, obviously you can just wash it, but having an extra one is not bad. So our tastes and our lists just always change. So what's important to us changes all the time. Don't forget the toilet paper.
Can't forget that.
I'm able to check a few things off. We got bowls. These have been replaced. We carry a lot of them. We got the plates in, and then we always carry extra plates just in case. We don't really worry about the bowls. Again, that's easy to replace. And we filled our silverware container with our plastic silverware. So those are 3 things that we can check off. And paper towels. We've got a couple of extra up there, so that gives us 3 rolls. I will put 1 under the bed. Plates, bowls, plastic silverware, paper towels, check. Oh, and foil trays. We already checked those. For his barbecue, we just keep these under the bed. Just check the trash bags, check. We're good to go. Dish soap is fine. I gotta do Ziploc bags now. Okay, so we're good on, what is this, quart? We got the big ones just in case. And I'm seeing that we're gonna have to replace the gallon, so I'm gonna make a note.
I do want to say that it is extremely handy always having gallon and quart size Ziploc bags in your camper, because we use them for a lot of things, especially leftover food storage. And I personally have always liked the freezer style because they're more heavy duty than the standard size.
Made a little list on the side of things that we need. So obviously I'm not going to check that off yet because it's not finished. But now I have a list, another list. So going through these plastic containers that we have stored up here gives me an idea of what I need to add to my list. Plus there's just, this is expired, this is an old package. Also, this is a first aid kit. You have got to have one of these. This is expired. Make sure you check that. I'm sure it's fine, but I'm gonna get us a new one.
So I'm working on my cast iron camp ovens here, and I'm going to show you the ones that I take for our big trips here. So I like having a 12-inch, a 10-inch, and an 8-inch because I use all 3 different sizes for different types of meals. But let's start with our 12-inch. So this time I'm going to be taking my Camp Chef 12-inch Deluxe, and there's a reason why I want to have this one. This one is a little deeper, so it's kind of like a Lodge 12-inch deep. All right, so you have more room in there. And what we like to do in this one a lot is our roasted chicken and vegetables. In a standard 12-inch Dutch oven, it's sometimes hard to fit a whole chicken and your vegetables in there. It's too close to the lid. This one gives you more depth, plus you have the depth of the lid there. So that's why I want to use this one. But you also have the addition of this being a frying pan as well.
Which is awesome.
You see it's got the 3 legs, so you can just sit it down and put coals underneath it and cook it that way. Or you can set it on our gas stove, our Camp Chef stove, and use it the same way. It's just like you would any other cast iron skillet. So it has multiple uses. One of the things I'm hoping that we get in on this trip, you see I've got this trivet in here. This is a nice riser trivet. I would like to do some steamed seafood. and this right here. I haven't done that yet with my camp oven, so I'm looking forward to doing that. All right, so that's our 12-inch. This is for nice sized meals. Sometimes you just need a little bit more size and room for your cooking. All right, here's the 10-inch right here, the Lodge 10-inch. I keep a trivet as well. Sometimes you need that if you're cooking some meat or something.
Do you use this size the most often?
I use the most often the 10-inch Lodge right here, and also the 8-inch Lodge, okay? I would say our most common size that we use is this 8-inch right here. This is a perfect size to have for doing sides and vegetables. And this is the one that I use probably the most when I want to do some mixed vegetables for dinner. The 8-inch is what I usually pull out. But it's not big enough for big pieces of meat, like say a whole chicken, or if I want to do ribs or some kind of big meal. That's why I like to have my options there. By the way, this is one that I found picking in Arkansas a couple years back. This exact one right here. So that is the camp ovens or Dutch ovens that we're going to be taking on this trip. The Deluxe 12-inch, the Lodge 10-inch, the Lodge 8-inch, because I like having options.
Our last trip, we didn't get to do as much cooking as we had both hoped. So
Yeah.
I have my fingers crossed that this one will not be a windy / fiery / nightmare.
Yeah, it shouldn't be super cold either. We're hoping
No.
that it's going to be cooler. But the last trip, I mean, it was in the 20s and 30s a lot of times. So
If it's below 85, I'm going to be happy. That's what I keep telling myself.
So anyway, there's our camp ovens, and I like to keep these guys stored underneath our bed right there, out of the way until I need them, and I just pull them out as needed.
And it also gives us a little bit more weight in the front.
Yeah, it adds a little bit more to the front, to the tongue weight of the trailer here.
I love that you're bringing that. All of them.
I usually do, right?
I need lots and lots of cast iron cooking.
I have, well, I know, you know I enjoy it. I have a pretty good collection of cast iron cookware. I like having all the sizes, so I have them all the way up to the 16-inch camp ovens and Dutch ovens.
And down to
So-
the 6-inch.
Actually, 5-inch.
Do you?
I have it down to the 5-inch.
That's right.
Yeah, we have some little baby ones in there too. It's just a nice collection to have, but they all have a purpose,
Yes.
and we use them for different things, you know. So having these three right here is going to open up a lot of different possibilities for different size meals that we want to cook.
I'm ready to leave now.
I know it. I'm ready too. Let's finish our packing so we can
Okay.
get out of here.
I wanted to point something out. This is the first time that we've actually utilized this particular list, and I do want to say, even if you're going to laminate it, go into the camper, go through these things the first time, and then write out all the things that you forgot, because I already have many things that I didn't put on this checklist that need to be here. And so this is the perfect way to check yourself, so then the next time you're going to have a full list that you love and that works for you.
Welcome to the under the bed storage compartment. How exciting, right? This is where we keep our hiking boots. We got Abby's hiking backpack. You can see extra paper towels there. And then I actually have extra brake parts saran wrapped just in case, because if you didn't have those in there, you're gonna have a breakdown. So anyway, we really do go through a lot of water on every trip. So we would both like to recommend what you do is have some gallon jugs, whatever type of water you want. We buy these, we shop at BJ's Wholesale, and they sell these in the 6-pack, which we got right here. There's 4 left from our last trip. So now we've got actually 7 of them for this trip, but we'll go through one of these in like a day.
Yes,
we
we
go
will.
through these a lot. So if you buy a 6-pack there, it'll last you quite a while. So I just thought I would share that we like to keep plenty of drinking water. Abby and I both use the, like the Yeti style cups full of ice and water at all times. I mean, from the moment we wake up until we go to bed, I have
We're chugging it.
Yep.
Yep.
Water next to me all the time. Need it whenever we drink that beer, right?
Yes, we do.
So keep you some of these on there handy for refilling your cups, but we also buy the plastic water bottles as well, and we'll put these underneath there as well.
And we don't use those very much, just for hiking and
Yeah,
things like
whenever
that.
we're away from the camper, we like having the small personalized bottle
Yep.
of water. All right, so here's the 12-inch camp oven right there. And then next is gonna be the 10-inch right here. And see, these can all stack on top of each other.
And those little bags are very nice and handy. They don't cling together. And
the bags are nice because it keeps them protected. It keeps you, it allows you to carry it easy. And also, if these are like outside, say you're like tent camping, this helps keep the rain and stuff off of your cast iron too. So they are protective case. So there's our camp ovens, there's our water, and then we'll have some more things that we're gonna put underneath here, like our, for example, our barbecue aluminum pans that we use here. We'll have these underneath here. We'll have our paper towels and our extra paper plates and things like that is what we keep underneath here.
This is a lot of stuff checked off our list.
We're working on it. We're ready for big haul.
One thing that I did not discuss is we also have a check these area. And these are the things that we kind of go through, well, he does, every single time. So we know that our propane tanks are full, we have our pantry done, the tire pressure is good, just a couple of things. These are usually in our camper already, but we just make sure in case we, went to the park or something. And then the other thing is that make sure you have a fire extinguisher and check the expiration dates on those, because especially if you do a lot of cooking, you've got to be able to have it handy. And make sure you let your family know where it's sitting. Ours is right by the door, so it's a good place to leave it. I hope you guys will not be disappointed in me, but to save money this time, I decided not to do a redesign because we love the Mexican theme. Well, I do. And we got our cactus and they look so cute. So anyway.
The colors look great too.
The colors look great. It's really happy and cheery in here. I have a new comforter that I'm gonna add. And look at these. Boom.
Chili lights.
Chili pepper lights.
You are hilarious.
Maybe these are gonna go in and maybe they won't. I needed to test them because I was gonna put them up along here just in the kitchen, but I may hang them under here. So I haven't decided yet, but I think I'm gonna add this for a little color because the lights hanging are probably my favorite thing in the entire camper, which is silly.
And it creates a really nice ambiance.
It really does, and we really enjoy eating dinner, anything that we're doing. We have the lights on, and it's lovely. And anyway, so basically, there will not be a video on decoration this time.
This is the big haul prep video.
This is the big haul prep video, exactly. Yep. So I hope that you're not sad, but the chili pepper lights should help. So to keep going with my organization, which I'm really working on this time, I decided to go ahead and update my list with the things that I missed. And there were several things that I missed. So I got that updated. The other thing too is that I made a list of the things that I needed, and I'm gonna go ahead and add them to Walmart and have them delivered. So then I know that these things are coming and they're checked off my list. Doing it this way, honestly, this is how I should have been doing it the whole entire time. So even I'm impressing myself right now with my incredible organizational skills.
We're constantly trying to improve our system.
Yes.
And we're just sharing that with you guys.
I promised him that I would be ready early this time, and I'm gonna be. And this is gonna help me get there.
This is probably, this big haul is the least amount of stress that I've had on any of the packing.
I agree.
Everything is pretty much packed.
It is.
But we're just trying to reorganize and thin some of the things out and then make sure everything's topped off, which is what we've been sharing.
Yes, and one thing I wanted to also just point out, think about the seasons that you will be encountering on your trip. You never know what things are going to be like. So that's another thing that I don't necessarily, I have winter gear on the list, but it's not an extensive list. But just make sure that if you know you're going to be someplace where it could possibly be freezing cold, that you have a beanie and gloves and extra socks and those kinds of things. So just be aware of the climates that you could encounter.
This one we're going to be packed for all seasons. So summer, fall, winter. Have the closets with our flannel and a jacket in case we need it.
I better get to wear a beanie. It's not going to happen, but I want to.
I sure hope it does because I'm tired of these 113 degree days down here in Florida. I'll tell you that.
I'm over it. We've
been continuing on with our preparations for a big haul, and Abby wanted me to share this. I thought this would be kind of interesting to share with you too. It's a little extensive, but maybe I can explain why. This is part of my barbecue kit. And as you can see, it's mostly spices, and we have some cutting oils. I'm so used to saying cutting oil. Cooking oils right here, not cutting oil.
That's awesome.
But let me just try to explain briefly what we have right here in the barbecue kits. Okay, let's start with this one right here. So all of these are the like pre-mixed store-bought style of rubs. All right, now in the back right here with the black lids, these are the Heath Riles. So the simple citrus rub is our favorite, and as well as the garlic butter. Those are the two that I primarily buy from the Heath Riles brand. We also have this garlic jalapeno rub that is good as well. But some of these other ones, I actually ended up buying a couple of the JO seafood seasonings. We're going to take that this time. And then, so I have a lot of the Fiesta brand. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out about Fiesta is that they have a lot of different pre-made rubs and seasonings you can buy. This right here is either $5 or $6.
Yeah.
All right. Same.
And you can get them at Walmart. You can order them online, but you can get them at Walmart as well.
Or Academy. Academy has them.
Agreed.
All right. But this right here, the Fiesta, this is either 5 or 6. I can't remember. And then these, any of the craft, are usually between $10 and $12 a bottle. So the Fiesta is half the cost of the craft style. I just want to point that out. But I think the Fiesta is excellent products. So we have the brisket rub. That's my Italian seasoning. This is from the butcher shop. There's
And
all.
it's a great. I love that seasoning.
That's just a really good seasoning there. The
Where's
fajita,
my lemon?
garlic pepper, chicken rub, and rib rub. And there's
Where's my
also a
lemon
pork
rub?
rub. All right, so let's move over here.
Okay, I jumped.
So there's a pork rub. So they make a rib and a pork. I use the rib on ribs, and then just if we're doing like tenderloins or whatever, we can use the pork. All right, there's lemon pepper. This is an excellent
That's
lemon
my
pepper.
favorite one.
This is very similar to the simple citrus.
They're both great, and they're completely different.
Yep. All right, and then so what I have is more of seasonings like this. So garlic powder, onion powder, paprika. There's black pepper, ground chili powder, taco seasonings. There's the lemon herb seasoning that we use on fish. This is quickly becoming one of our favorite right there. So this is perfect for fish and seafood.
Yes.
All right. And then we've got paprika. So some of these are just like mixtures. You know, we got some cayenne pepper right there. Red pepper flakes. So some of these are like, you know, extras that go into rubs that you might want to make. I also have this MF brand cracked peppercorn mixture and salt mixture as well. That's really good stuff. So I just like having a variety. Okay, I don't want just 1 or 2 rubs. I like having a variety of different things so that, you know, one day we're going to be cooking some chicken. The next day we might do a steak. The next night we might do a fish, and we might do shrimp another meal. I just like having a mixture of things. And since I have the room in our outdoor kitchen on the Kodiak, I took the appliances out, like the fridge and the stove. This stuff sits in there whenever we're camping. So I have everything I need. So going back to the kit here, this one right here is going to have, we have grapeseed oil, vegetable oil, olive oil. We have some sprays that we use sometimes. I got a bottle of hot sauce. And then here is your Fiesta sea salt. Season it all, which is my favorite. And then I've got some swamp fire right here that we may or may not use. I'm not sure. And then we keep the Goya packs in there as well. That's my swamp fire instructions right there. We also have some vinegar. So I try to be prepared to be able to have whatever spices or seasonings and things that we might need for whatever kind of cook. Now, that doesn't cover everything that you need, but if we come at anything specific that we want to make that we don't have, then we'll make a special trip to the store and get a couple things.
Yes.
But that generally kind of covers what my barbecue kit consists of.
I fully support this hobby.
Thank you.
I hope you know
I'm glad that you do.
Any spices that you want to bring, please do.
That's the wireless meat probe. This is the Temp Spike brand, and I think it works great. Also keep some meat thermometers in here. Temperature, you know, we got the Thermopop, Thermopen. We got a little small one right there. I like having multiples because sometimes the battery may be dead, and then you got to have a backup. So that just stays right in there, and then whenever I open up the outdoor kitchen, I reach right in there to grab what I need. All right. And there's actually one that I forgot to put in there because I use it so much. I have the small bottle of Seasonal. I like this on my eggs in the morning, but this will go in there as well. So one more thing. Here is one of my all-purpose rubs. All right, I just mixed this up. So you want to know what's in that? All-purpose rub. Sea salt equal parts seasoned all sea salt to equal parts black pepper. And then we also have onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of the cayenne pepper in there as well. That is just a really good base rub for anything.
Anything.
All right, and then you can get creative. You can add whatever you want to this. This is a really good base. So if you just that right there on some chicken, it's all you need. So there you go. There's part of our barbecue kit.
You're checking off a lot of things.
I am checking off a lot of things. So look, here's our checklist right here, Abby's checklist that she made. So we're getting ready to load this up. And right here, so I still got to go through all this, but spices, barbecue rubs, I'm going to go ahead and X that off because I'm getting ready to load that up right there. And then as far as what else, you want me to go ahead and finish this out? So today I had both propane tanks filled up. I did the generator and the fuel can. That's done. That is ready to go. Need to do these. I already checked tire pressure. That's good to go. Camp chairs, did that. Tables, I did that. Have not done the AC. And we still got to do flashlights, and then we need the batteries for the little lantern.
I need to put that on my list.
Yep. So right here, we got, no, I'm not going to do meat thermometer because this one is my wired meat thermometer that I hang out there in the kitchen. So, but we'll continue going through this. So this is why it's important to have these lists here, because it's a lot of things to just try to remember.
It is.
And we did it for a while, just trying to remember things. And it's easier to write it down. Even just write it all down as you think about it. And as you're loading it up, check it off. Makes your life a little bit more organized, a little bit easier too.
I feel the least amount of stress on this trip than I ever have.
Yeah. Yeah.
We also have the least amount of things in the camper so far.
We keep pulling things out.
We do.
You know, but we make sure we have the things in there that are important to us. Every year, every season, we keep thinning out, pulling a few things out. You know, I had some extra flannels in there I wasn't wearing, so I said, let's just pull them out of there. I'm not going to wear them. I have my favorite 2 flannels. That's what I always put on. But these right here are my favorite spices and rubs, and I've narrowed it down to this right here. And every year, this may evolve a little bit. There may be a few things that that we put in there, you know, next time that we don't have. Anyway, just something else to share with you as we pack up for our next big haul.
Okay, I'm happy to report that the list that I made worked perfectly. This was, I think, our easiest pack job that we've done so far. And honestly, you gotta have a list. So I'm glad I didn't laminate this because we ended up adding a couple of things that I had forgotten. And really, I'm going to add another section for note taking because you're just constantly thinking of something else going, oh my gosh, I forgot that. I can't forget that. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to make a special spot for that so you can kind of keep track of everything. But otherwise, this list worked great. So we're going to use this every single time once I get it updated. And I think we nailed it. I'm happy.
I got to say that it really did work well too.
Yes.
You know, Abby had the barbecue list for me, which I worked off of, and we had everything checked off.
Did.
And I didn't forget anything that I normally load up. So
we did it.
The list worked great.
Honestly, I think that you're trying to avoid that dreadful feeling of knowing that you forgot something.
Yep.
And we really didn't have that. I did forget something, but it's something I can pick up on the road. So it isn't anything that's a big deal. So I'm happy. We're going to do this every single time now.
Yep. So it worked great for us. And we're hoping that maybe this is going to help some of you guys out there that are doing the same thing, you know, going RVing and going camping. We all have things that we want to bring into our RV, and we don't want to forget them.
No.
So definitely check into making your checklist.
Yes.
For
and
your
you can
trips.
make it in Word. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I mean, and it's going to evolve. So just be aware of that. And like I said, I have a lot of things that I've added. So
you can see some of the things we've got on ours right there, and then some of the extra things that she wrote in. But look, everything's checked off. So there you go.
I think we nailed it.
Job well done, babe.
And we are at our first official, well, it's the second stop, but it's going to be considered our first official stop on the big haul. So we are in the thick of it, and I am really happy.
First stop, but we're going to have another video that will kind of kick that
Yes.
off. We don't want to get that mixed into this.
No.
But we've had a good first leg getting up to our first main
Yeah,
stop. We just had a quick little stopover overnight, and then now we're on our first. We're getting into our first adventure. So,
The sticker map is coming out.
oh yeah, we're getting ready to pull the sticker map out. That's right. Very cool. Well, we're going to sign off then.
Yep.
Great job on the list, babe.
Thank you.
You did an awesome job with that.
Thank you. We're going to
And
do this every time so we don't lose our mind.
Absolutely. All right. Hope to see you guys on the next video.
Yes.